Hello everyone, I'm Jack. Welcome to episode 49 of the Save File podcast. In this episode we're discussing Pokémon Presents event, Microsoft's claim that Sony is blocking games from getting to Game Pass, and the Disney Games Showcase. Joining me today is Josh. Mr.
Howdy,
Josh, how are you? That's good. And joining me as well is Charbs. How are you?
What's up?
Now, unfortunately, Eve can't be with us tonight, but I'm sure he will miss all of us, and we hope he can make the next one. Now, I think we have to start with Pokemon, because Pokemon's probably the biggest thing that's happened. You know, we're in a dry spell of gaming stuff. There's not too much happening, but Pokemon never stops. They just continue and continue, and when they need more, Nintendo decides they need more money. Pokemon
Very cynical for something that I'm going to buy 4 copies of. Give me money. Right. I'll give you money. Make me the funny creature game. I want to give you money.
And they will make the funny creature game and you will buy it. So we got Pokemon Presents and a whole heap of stuff. They went through not just the two, obviously Scarlet and Violet were there, but they went through some other stuff. Like Pokemon Unite is getting more actual Pokemon that you can play, but I want to ask both of you when the last time was that you played Pokemon Unite.
God, when did it come out?
Yeah. Sharps, are you similar? Oh.
Yeah, sounds about right. I really, really, really wanted to play more of it. Like, I wanted to get into it because the only MOBA I ever got into was Paragon. And
know how that ended up.
Yeah, we know how that ended up. So I was like, you know what? I'd love it if there was just a MOBA I could get into, play.
Pokemon Unite's actually very, very good, I think. There's a lot there. I need the push for other people to play MOBAs. Like, I can't line up solo, so. But they did get some new Pokemon, and they are interesting. So, they announced Ultra Beast Buzzwole, Glaceon, and Tyranitar.
I love your pronunciation of Buzzwole.
You're welcome. I purposely did that.
How do we know it's Buzzwole and not
I have
Buzzwole?
watched the official translations.
So he knows.
Although, have I ever told you guys that I had a friend who tried for like months to convince me that Jirachi was pronounced Jirachi? The movie just came out, Jirachi and the Wishes or whatever, and he was trying to convince me that it was actually pronounced Jirachi, and then he like went full into like words have no meaning or true pronunciation because we all make it up, therefore he is correct.
I mean,
it got so oh god, now I can't pronounce the word.
That's such a backtrack.
Like, I don't know, he just took the immediately the most hardline reductionist position.
How did that conversation go? Hey, you're pronouncing that wrong. Am I though? Am I really?
Because he's like, oh yeah, Jirachi. No one, Jirachi is Jirachi, and he goes, no, it isn't. And he just held firm.
So, there wasn't much else, I feel like, in terms of Pokemon. There was Pokemon Go, you know, they're having a big Pokemon event. Then there's the World Championships, but I think ultimately what everyone cares about is Scarlet and Violet news. And we've got the new region name.
Paldea.
Josh, what do you think?
I am personally a really big fan of everything that they've been doing with Scarlet and Violet. Really showing off, like, trying to make the games feel very different. Like, this is going to be a completely different experience. Also, I think something that people might have missed in the trailer is that they said there would be 3 different storylines you could follow.
So, I've got a list of stuff, you know, that we need to cover from it, and I think that's one of the big things that I'm like, excuse me, we're actually almost questing in this Pokemon game. We're doing something different. Are you... Excuse me?
Quests in my Pokemon game? It's more likely than you think.
I think it's very cool. I am very happy. So they did say that, you know, you get the 8 gyms, you'll be able to tackle them in any order, and then there are other stories within the game that are basically not
the gym quest.
What you've done in every other Pokemon game, and there's these other 2 things. I think that's really interesting. I really am excited by that because I'm like, oh, okay. Like, just them doing... I've talked on this podcast forever that Pokemon has needed something different. I'm happy they've been trying to do that more and more because game's stale. Like, I feel like you can love Pokemon, but you still need... At the end of the day, the ultimate aim is to grow and to keep getting bigger and bigger, and you probably need to bring in other elements into the game. People who want to go and catch them all are going to do that every time you release the game. So how you getting other people, and how you getting people like me who are interested in it but not going to buy every single one because they feel time poor or whatever. So yeah, and now Charbs, you're the car person of the group.
Yes, I am.
What do you think of the legendaries?
Look, I will say this. There's one thing I really like that they're doing with the legendaries, and it's that, by the looks of it, you might actually get them early.
Okay, this is one thing I had to point out, and I'm glad you did it. I'm like, so... They sort of mentioned that you can get them early because they've talked about in their marketing, you're traversing the land with them, which... You're not really going to do that at the end of the game, which is usually when you get the legendary.
I think... Okay, so there have been...
So I'm very
There
excited
have been
by
talks that, like, there's another Pokemon that you can ride besides the legendaries, but from the trailer, it looks like you get them nearly immediately, and everyone who's already played the game said, yeah, you get them pretty much immediately, like, throughout the entire game you're on them, which will make them more relevant. Like, they're not just, like, the Deus Ex Machina that comes in.
Yes, that's one of my things. It's like, they feel like this end boss you see for 5 minutes, that's sort of it. Like, I feel like you actually have attachment to these people because they're plane things. They can also float.
May I just address the one point?
Wild designs they have.
I love
with
that
these.
my son, Koraidon, he has wheels, yet he refuses to use them.
Yeah, you're 100%
I love it.
right.
I kind of love it. Like, I get it. I understand why, because I've seen behind the screen a little, but Jesus, guys.
I'm not in love with these designs of these, but it's such a Pokemon thing to be like, what is the next weird thing? What's the next thing we can make be a Pokemon? That's in real life. Like, we have a garbage bag Pokemon, we have a snow cone. Like, what are we doing here? Let's make a motorbike plane that floats.
I love how, like, there is actually, like, it takes, like, 3 or 4 months for every single Pokemon to be designed, because they're all designed by different individuals. And, like, the level of, like, research and impact that they have, and then, like, you look at them on a surface level and you're like, it's a snow cone.
Hey, I've just realised the legendaries. What animals are they based on?
They are a type of lizard. I'll have to. Yeah, they're a lizard.
Excuse me? Clearly based
I thought they were
My
dogs.
dudes, they are lizards. Look at them. Hold on. Are you guys fucking with me?
I'm gonna bring this up.
Look up Koraidon and Miraidon. They are lizards.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, they are motors. They are vehicles.
I think he's
Don't
right.
get
I
me
think
wrong.
they
They
are
are both
lizards.
vehicles, and like they're the future and past of themselves. But like, yeah.
No, you're right. I think
They're lizards. They have an internal
imagining
combustion engine, but they're lizards.
No, you're right.
nonetheless.
I've been imagining that. I think I've got in my head them hovering and everything, and I'm just not seeing it. But I looked them up when they're not that, and yeah.
Yeah, because they're designed... Okay, Scarlet
Still.
and Violet have a huge past and future theme going throughout them. So Koraidon and Miraidon are sort of like distant ancestors of each other. Because Scarlet and Violet are playing around with like more actual like real life evolutionary theory, like Pokemon that have evolved to be similar but are totally different Pokemon. Like how animals can evolve to be...
Yeah, like obviously you got Koraidon's like a motorbike.
Miraidon is like a
Miraidon's probably more like a hover bike almost.
And like they have a whole past future thing. So
I
it's
just
really cool.
realised...
But obviously, out of context trailer images make it very funny.
They were better off basing them on dogs.
Why?
Because dogs automatically float. Because they're good boys.
I get it. Yes, very funny.
All
Just
right,
for
we're
a second,
ending the podcast to that.
Charbs,
Thank you, everyone.
I got a task for you.
Yeah.
I want you to look up Grusha from the trailer.
What?
While he's doing that, Josh, what do you think of our little boy?
Okay, Fido. Firstly, A+ Pokemon names this generation. Actually, A+ Pokemon names.
I appreciate the names. I just can't believe they've decided to go with yet another dog Pokemon, and they're literally just trying to... There is a dog for every single person.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I appreciate that
they clearly have worked out the dogs.
Half the Pokemon are food-related so far. I'm very impressed. Usually we get, like, one food Pokemon. We've got, like, 4 so far. Love it.
And one that's eating too much.
Yes.
Sorry for
Josh. I'm not... Okay, I did what you asked. I looked up Garusha in Scarlet and Violet, right? And this is the description, right? So, he fights with a team of Ice-type Pokemon, and his main Pokemon partner appears to be Cetishin, or whatever the hell that is. I'm probably mispronouncing... That's it, I knew I mispronounced it.
He's...
One of the new Pokemon added for Scarlet and Violet. He's reportedly a very cool-headed individual, but can start to heat up in the passion of battle.
Shaba, can you look at Grisha's design for me for a bit? Just look at it.
Yeah, what about it? What, are you talking about the Pokescarf?
If you were to look at that, what gender do you think they are? What gender do you think Grisha is?
Sorry, what was that? I would say Garusha looks typically female.
Right. So, are you aware of how fast Pokemon fans are
what if you
when
were
they draw
wrong?
them? Do you know?
Oh, no.
Fucking...
Hang on. I wrote Scarlet and Violet Garusha on Google Images, right? And I'm on my phone, and if I scroll down just past
the first ones.
Oh my god, why is the first suggestion is Pokemon fan art? But I'm literally looking at one of the first images that pops up is from Kotaku Australia, and it's the photo they used, and it says, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet new gym leader makes fans sexually confused.
Because Grisha was interpreted to be female during the trailer, because he looks kind of like a girl. And, my god, Pokemon artists are insanely fast. So, like, literally couldn't wait even 10 minutes after the trailer when we got the bios and everyone went, oh, gotta erase some bits here.
Alright, so I'm gonna read you a portion of this Kotaku article, right?
Oh, this will be good.
So the masculine pronouns confused some fans who thought they got a female gym leader reveal, but most of the fandom has been receptive to his pronouns so far. And I kid you not, this is the next line. Other, hornier fans had a potential crisis. And someone put up a Reddit post with a photo of Garusha, and I promise you, this is the exact quote from that Reddit post.
Yep.
And this is all in caps. She is not a guy. You cannot convince me this is a guy. It's a her. It's a she. I already came to her twice. She can't be a guy. I'm not gay. This is a girl, a grown woman even. Repeat after me. Girl, 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 girl. And they just keep writing girl.
Oh dear. Some people just can't handle the truth. That's what that comes down to, and I'm going to move us on.
Please.
So I'm going to move us on, but I love Satitan.
Oh, Satitan's great.
I think that's a cool Pokemon. Like, in every literal sense of the word. Like, I love that. I have a problem that I feel like a really big dude, and almost, to me, feels like pseudo-legendary. Because he also reminds me of our Pokemon Sapphire whale legendary. And I'm like, it's a bit weird. I don't know if they're trying to pull something like that, but like I'm gonna assume he's not a
No,
pseudo
he's probably like he's like the Bulkymon of this generation, like the Snorlax, the.
But I want him to be like a Metagross where he has stupid stats.
No, I can see Subtitan being
Actually,
like a
can
two
I ask-
evolution thing. Like he has like a little one, and then it turns into him.
That's what I'm hoping, but I'd love that.
Quick
oh my
question.
God, tiny little spike whale would be cute.
Are you guys going to get
I'm getting
Scarlet or
Violet.
Violet?
Or more on Scarlet, I think.
I prefer Scarlet's legendary, like based off looks, but everyone around me is getting Scarlet, and I'm like,
Really?
I don't know.
I've had more play with
Yeah.
Violet, that's just me personally, but
I'm leaning towards, I don't know, like I was leaning towards Violet, but I'm actually preferring Scarlet's legendary, so I might go.
Well, I
with
got
Scarlet.
Alexia who plays it, so
They also
we
got
get
me-
both versions.
yeah, that's fair. They also got me to care about a Pokemon that I didn't care about before.
Why
That's
do you
Wooper.
not care about Wooper, you
'Cause
fucking
he's getting-
heartless dick?
'Cause he's
Yeah,
getting-
Jack,
'cause-
what's wrong with you?
Because he's gonna be poison ground, and I'm a sucker for poison type.
Yes, poison
That
ground is
partly
indeed a poison
correct, by
type.
definition.
He's partly poison. You're correct. Instead of water. No, I just look. I don't think I've ever used Wooper in like a game. I haven't played every single Pokemon game, but I've played enough, and I don't know if I've used him. So I'm excited.
I like the new
And
Wooper
then-
too. It's cute.
I think it actually looks pretty cool. Now, Josh, can you tell me about the gimmick that they're doing in this Pokemon?
Yes.
That we always have to have some sort of
So
gimmick.
this generation's gimmick is terrestrial. Oh, this is going to be a hard one. Terrestrialization?
Yeah,
I don't know why they called it that. They
Why
could
do
have
you
called
know
it
that you do it?
crystallization. It would have been fine. But terrestrialization.
yeah. I feel like I don't know. There must be something to that.
Oh, there's going to be like a fucking 300-page document on why it's called that. But
Well, I've had a theory. Well, no, it wasn't my theory, I'll be honest. But I've seen like a lot of people saying, no, there's been like lots of caves and stuff, and I'm looking at the map and whatnot, and people wondering if it's to do with Paldean region, perhaps.
it's definitely got something to do with like a folklore or a Spanish thing. Like they always.
But I feel like crystals in general is more like a ground or
Yeah.
base thing, I
Yeah.
suppose.
It's got like a... It's a really cool mechanic, though. Like, the idea of giving Pokemon an additional typing. Also, it seems like you can...
Yeah,
like-
I think that's actually
I
really
like that
cool.
it's, like, it's individual, too. Like, two Pokemon that are the same species can have completely different, Terra type. Which...
Wait, does it... I wonder if it'll tell you that in game,
I think-
though. Like, when you get one, will it tell you this one will Terra into X and Y typing? or
from
not?
what we've seen, yes. It looks like when you get the Pokemon, if you look at its stats page, it'll tell you what Terra type it is.
That's interesting. Jeez, that's gonna piss off a lot of people that are shiny hunting.
Oh my
and then they
God,
get the
yeah,
wrong
that's,
Terra typing for what
I'm
they
guessing
want.
that like they'll eventually...
Oh my god, they've added more.
I guess-
There'll probably be a way to change it or heavily invest it towards one.
I think
way.
like they might eventually just release like an item that's like change the Terra type to whatever you want, but it's just hard to get.
Yeah, it'll be changed Terra type, or like if you do X, Y, Z thing, it'll more likely end up being that when you hatch it, or
maybe breeding will be
Anything
interesting
of that
because there's
sort.
no daycare in this generation.
that's gonna. be
No, you do
painful.
it from your fucking party camp thing.
Oh,
Can
you
I
can
just say,
okay. That's alright.
we've been talking about Pokemon for like 15 minutes, and not one of us has complained
Oh,
about the
that's
graphics
true.
yet.
These graphics look like...
because it's never mattered. Sorry, hang on. Let's just get rid of the last.
Yeah, hold on.
15
Let me
minutes
get the
then.
dartboard out. These graphics look like MS DOS.
Actually, the best graphic they've released, just as general rule, is as a general thing, is literally the region of Paldea. They made that look really.
Yeah, I
cool.
really like the look of the game.
The art's
It looks pretty fun.
It was really cool.
Yeah, but we should probably move on to a different topic. Because
Okay.
we've been talking about Pokemon for a while.
We'll
I was
move on.
gonna say,
It's a lot of
I wanna-
Pokemon, but as a general rule, I think this is showing us that we're actually excited for it. It's not just hurts more.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
that's true. Where everyone's like, oh, well, I wouldn't mind, getting a little dog made of bread.
Oh.
Dog made of bread. So
Okay, I want to move us on
what do you
because
think?
Microsoft are making allegations saying Sony is blocking games getting on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's right. They hate Game Pass.
And we've got the quote here. It says, Sony pays developers, and in quotes, blocking rights to stop them from adding their games to Game Pass.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
Did
so
you guys know that
it's a real
Nintendo
cool
has been blocking me from owning games from them?
By us
Yeah, they've
having
been
to pay
asking
money
me to
for them.
purchase them. What the fuck? Blocking rights?
Rude.
Quotation marks.
So this is a real cool headline, and credit to everyone who was trying to put that out there. But what's really saying, to no surprise, is that Sony's paying for exclusivity a few times, because why wouldn't they? They want the games on their platform as well, or only on their platform. So I think this has come out from the whole situation with the being looked into Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard, and this is sort of something that's just come out in the documents.
No, I mean, it goes further back than that. Like,
No, I feel like this is just part of the ongoing war between them, right? Like, is this really
well, I
a
mean,
big
I
deal?
I absolutely love the Activision Blizzard discourse because it's Sony saying, well, COD is a must-own game, and Microsoft being like, no, it's shit. I'm like, then why are you buying it? What are you possibly having to achieve? Look, in all honesty,
This goes
right,
back to the whole Skyrim thing.
I'm not going to pretend...
Todd Howard wouldn't be releasing Skyrim if people stopped buying it. Again.
Look, let's be real. Neither one here is the good guy. They're both companies. They're both going to do what makes them money. Like, that's reality.
Does anyone just want to point out they're both buying studios so then they can get exclusive rights to the games?
Yeah, it's turning into a Captain America Civil War kind of thing over here. But, look, can I just say, right, are we... Like, bro, are people really going to pretend Microsoft...
I was going to say, do Microsoft...
No, I couldn't believe the furore over this.
Like, this is the same company that... you know what? Actually, the earliest I can think of a company just saying, oh, we're going to, like, pay for exclusivity owning this game. That's, to be honest, the first I can think of is Tomb Raider. From when that was an Xbox One time exclusive. You remember?
Yeah.
And it was all over the marketing for Xbox. It was like the big thing, like, oh, you need to play this on Xbox first.
I think it's just that... It's just back to the thing that because they both own platforms, like, no one's complaining about things being exclusive to PC. Like, it's just because there's a company there that people can put blame on and be like, oh, my game isn't on here, this is sad. I'm simping for my own Sony or Microsoft.
But, like, are we really going to pretend Microsoft would be happy to put their games on a PlayStation?
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Like, oh, okay, well, if you're mad about Sony blocking games from being on Game Pass, no worries. Port Halo to the PS5.
Yeah, and they've literally said, like, it comes on the back of, I know that a lot of the other talk when they acquired Activision Blizzard, well, pending, it was like, oh, does that mean things like Diablo are going to be exclusive to PC and Xbox? And no, because they realised that, hey, it sold really well on the PlayStation. We probably need PlayStation. Like, I think at the end of the day, both companies are going to do what's best for business for both of them. Whether that's sharing or not sharing. I know Sony's usually the bad guy in that, but they're trying. They're trying. We've seen improvements in that with getting stuff onto PC, for example, but I'm just at the point... I don't care about console wars, and this feels like just another console war thing, and I'm like... I was
going to say, aren't we done with the console wars? Didn't we...
No.
No.
There's a new generation spearheading this.
The reactions to this article said no.
Like, bro, the only thing that bothers me is that people act like Microsoft and Sony legitimately care about you.
No,
they don't.
Well, I was going to
say...
Your
job as a consumer is to go with whoever provides you with the best deal. Like, if you can only buy one console, then you go with whoever's going to give you the most bang for your buck. In some cases, it's Nintendo, in some cases it's Sony, and in some cases it's Microsoft.
Yeah.
But, like, don't get it twisted. They only care about you because you're paying them money.
Yeah.
In other news, Midnight Fight Express, a game I've been looking forward to for a few years now, will be on Game Pass day one.
But it's going to be delayed because it's like every other game.
Do we want to quickly go over that?
No. It will not be delayed, Jack. Do not do this.
No, it already has been delayed.
What?
Yeah, it's not coming out till... Well, actually, they didn't say when. I love that I'm telling you this.
We're brokering bad news today.
I literally was setting notes up last week and found this out.
No, its release is still slated as August 23rd.
No, they haven't said anything.
Shut up, Jack. It's not being delayed.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm gonna let Charbs live in his little bubble.
Wait, what makes you think it's going to be delayed?
No, it has been.
Where?
Google it.
I did! I can't... Jack, you understand how mad I'm going to be if this has been delayed.
It's been delayed till 2025, man.
It hasn't been delayed. I'm looking at it now.
My dad works at Midnight Fight.
And I'm checking... Yes, my dad works with the company that designed this game. The one man who designed it.
Yeah, that guy, that was my dad.
You know what did get delayed? Charles, what actually got delayed was Marvel Midnight Suns.
Oh, fuck.
I was wondering if he would find the note and then just realise. No. Because all games get... 2022 is the year of games not releasing in 2022. Because you know what else got delayed that I predicted?
What?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, you did predict that.
Yeah.
I think you predicted that like day one.
I've been saying I have had a sinking feeling about this game since I was just like, if this game, it's not going to either perform or just something happen. I've said it's Hogwarts Legacy and then it got delayed. I'm like, there it is. But they still have time to make it good and be a good game. But I'm sort of like, look, I'm not surprised. It's August and you haven't received a release window for a game that was meant to be coming out at the end of the year. I was like, nah, it's not happening. Because the marketing on a Hogwarts game will be massive and they're going to want to do it for months. So I want to move on to the... Guys, we're getting another gaming movie. It's obviously going to be it's going to go really well. Everyone's going to want to go see it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yes, I needed this. This was the game that I needed.
Yeah, when I thought of story-heavy cinematic games, I definitely thought of this one.
This was definitely number one. It's
That's impressive.
Why are we getting... Just the board meeting of we want to make a game. So it's being headed by Bandai Namco. And it's Justin Baldoni's production company with Wayfarer Studios. And not only are they doing a Pac-Man movie, it's going to be live action.
I did not know it was going to be live action. I have questions. Oh man, you know what? I told Alexia that that there was going to be a Pac-Man movie, and she thought that Pixels was the Pac-Man movie. And now I feel like
that
she's
would have made a lot more sense.
Close than I thought.
She probably is. We don't need to discuss this for a very long time. I just want to know why. And is anyone... I'm intrigued to see how they pull this off, because we haven't seen anything. It's just got announced. But I'm just like... Where was the board meeting? It was like, yeah, Pac-Man's the next one. Like, if I'm Bandai Namco of all people, Tekken, FromSoft. No. We're gonna go Pac-Man. That's the next theatrical release we need.
He will definitely be the thing that just sweeps the box office.
Look, Lightyear did alright, didn't it?
Did it?
It's gonna be like that.
Did Lightyear do okay?
Guys,
I didn't think people hated it. It wasn't the worst. Also, it's not a game, in fairness. But for some reason, that's what it reminds me of. So 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, which, at this point...
That's decent.
For gaming movies, or...
I just have to ask, though, like... What do you do with Pac-Man? Like, are they gonna go, like, the full... weird live-action deconstruction of, like, oh, Pac-Man.
Charbs, all I can think of is the Futurama episode.
Oh my god.
Where literally they've got Pac-Man, the General, and Mrs. Pac-Man, and he gets shot.
So funny. I really...
But see, that's where it would have made so much more sense animated. A live-action version seems like a really
I thought,
weird
like,
take.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Not Adam Sandler's...
No.
The Pac-Man.
Like, I feel like... My impression here is they're trying to do a Pokemon detective sort of thing. But see, that made a lot... There was already, like, a little bit of sense
Yeah, but, like,
behind
Pokemon
that.
to real life I kind of see.
Live action was not the... No, I know. And, like, live action Pokemon is what people love Pokemon want. But...
Detective Pikachu was really cool.
Seeing Pac-Man not as...
What?
Very good.
What will Pac-Man look like?
guys,
I have like so many questions.
You look like a tennis ball. You just look like a tennis... I just wonder how big he's gonna...
Yeah, how big is Pac-Man?
guys,
Yes.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I've just had an article sent
Right.
to me by a friend,
Here we go.
and it's about a female gamer
Oh no, this can't be
who,
good.
and I'm gonna actually read her
Okay.
quote. Okay, I used to roam around on Tinder and get guys to buy Nier Automata, then ghost them. I think my count was up to 22 when I stopped. I mean, I never said I'd fuck with them. I mostly just talked about it and recommended the game. She used to get people to buy Nier
You
and
know
then
what?
ghost
God's
them.
work. They will tell bards will sing tales of her in the future.
I'm gonna move us on.
You know what's funny is that Yoko Taro responded to her on Twitter, and I think all he said was "glory to
That's
mankind."
fantastic.
Oh dear.
Also, why? It's so funny.
I'm gonna move us on. I'm still upset at...
Yeah. Okay.
Pac-Man.
Okay. I just want to say this: making a live-action Pac-Man movie is like making a Metal Gear Solid movie, but it's G for everyone animated.
I was just gonna say it's a choice, and just
choice.
leave it at that. It's a choice you can make.
Dude, the Pac-Man
Cool.
movie is one of the movies
Only-
of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's the energy I'm going for.
Josh, that's only if Chris Pratt gets to play Solid and Liquid Snake.
But do you?
No, Chris Pratt is gonna play Pac-Man as well. He's just gonna play every
I was
character.
actually thinking that in my head.
Every Japanese
Chris
character.
Pratt is definitely going to be playing him.
Oh,
I actually feel bad for him. Can you imagine he got the call like, yeah, you're gonna be Mario, and then it just turned into a meme?
Do you reckon
Actually,
when he got
hang
that call
on.
to be Mario, he
Before we
let out
move
one-
on from... Before we move on from Pac-Man, who's your choice to play?
Ah, God, that's a good question.
See, this is the thing when you get live action, you go, excuse me, what? You have to... someone has an answer for this question, Josh.
I mean,
Dwayne the Pac.
No. I would...
imagine. I'm just imagining the Rock in like a really buff Pac-Man suit.
He's got to wear like a khaki coloured shirt and have sweat on it though.
It's Dwayne the Rock
Johnson
He
playing
just
it.
looks like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. They just dye his hair blonde. That's it. That's all he does. And then like he's just a professional wrestler.
No, you know who
and
I
the
want?
whole movie is about him, the Pac-Man, because they misspelled Puck, and he fights the ghosts.
Oh, the Pac-Man's gonna be another wrestler that he has to fight.
And the ghosts are going to be like
No, you know what I want?
brothers of the wrestling tournament he's in. It's going to have nothing to do with anything. That's my prediction.
I don't know if I'll end up seeing this movie. Maybe I'll want to, but I'm very interested in just reading the plot, because the plot for a movie like this is to be amazing.
Josh, you remember Chappelle's show, right?
Chappelle show.
Do you remember Tyrone Biggums, the character
Yes.
he used to play, the crackhead? I want him to be Pac-Man. Not Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle as Tyrone Biggums
I like the
as Pac-Man.
inception of here. That's almost as good as like
Like, imagine this, right? Let me set the scene. You turn into an alley. A voice mystically says, "Waka waka, bitch!"
Wait, is the white stuff he's eating?
Like, instead of those like big circle wafer things Pac-Man eats, it's just crack.
Oh my god. I feel like this almost has to be like a gimmick movie. Like, it's just like you can't write this seriously.
No
I'm thinking.
human being.
You've got to have like a super comedic aspect to it. He's just not going to.
Have you guys heard of the headcanon? Like a popular headcanon for what the story of Pac-Man is? That he's like a space explorer, and that his crew all died, and he's the last survivor, and they're haunting him.
Oh my god.
I can see a decent movie in that. It doesn't need to be live action.
Pac-Man.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna leave it there.
That is a decent movie. It's
Yo,
not a
I want-
Pac-Man movie.
Charbs,
Yes.
I want to let you talk about the other Bandai Namco news.
Don't you dare.
Are you referring to what I think you're referring to?
I am.
No.
No,
Okay,
I don't think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harada has done it at Evo.
Yep.
A new entry in the King of Iron Fist tournament. That's right, a new Tekken has been announced.
Well, we see it.
Showing about 2 seconds of footage and then leaving and not explaining shit.
No, I thought it was sort of really cool how they did it. So, for those who don't know, they literally showed off PS1 era Kazuya chucking Hayachi off the side of the cliff. That's not a spoiler. If you didn't know that by now, you haven't been paying attention for 20 years. And then it pans in on Kazuya's face and it goes to modern graphics. And he's almost hyper-realistic. It's weird.
And did you notice that the voiceover didn't even finish the quote? Because normally the voiceover goes, "Get ready for the next battle," but all he said was, "Get ready."
Yeah,
and then
I was
just
like,
stopped.
okay.
Get ready for what? Is there no battle? You know what? I just want it to like pan out.
What a brilliant tease, though.
You know what they'll do? They'll do a second one where it'll be a trailer. It'll start with Kazuya's face, like how the first trailer ended, and then it pans around him, and you realize it's a bowling alley, and it's Tekken Bowl, a full release of Tekken Bowl.
Well, look, I think it's probably Tekken 8.
It's actually Tekken or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Tekken or Alive? Yes. You know what it is? It's Tekken X Street Fighter. Yep. Finally.
Also, I'm not sure, but did they do it on the 8th of the 8th? It might have been on the 8th of the 8th. I don't... Look, Evo... When was Evo? Hang on. I don't know if that could be a tease. I might be looking way too into that, but... Okay, it was technically 7th for them, but it was 8th for us. Okay, whatever. Let's scrap that, but that would have been cool.
Honestly, I'm just excited to see what's next.
Yeah, I think it's cool they did it. Cool little tease, but obviously they only teasing, but I think the way they did it made people freak out, and probably just as good publicity as showing off like footage and stuff. It got people hyped anyway, which is all you need, right?
Alright, can I please introduce the next bit for Josh?
Oh no, is this where I get mad?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, Joshua, my friend. I'm trying not to laugh, just thinking about your reaction.
I just realised this is the other watch. We've got a new watch section of the podcast.
So, this is something to do with our friends at Electronic Arts. EA has said, and I quote, "Players love their loot boxes." I'll read you the whole quote here while your eye is currently twitching. Hold on, let me read you the whole quote.
This actually wasn't where I thought you were heading.
"We wholeheartedly believe that Ultimate Team and FIFA Ultimate Team packs, which have been part of the game for more than a decade, are a part of FIFA that our players love. Fans love that the game reflects the real-world excitement and strategy of building and managing a squad, and giving players the choice to spend if they want to is fair."
Hey, and last time I checked, if I was a manager, I didn't have to spend my own money.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, fucking... like, all the top managers of all time, and they're sitting there, they're like, "Oh, I really, really want this player. Let me fucking open a loot box for him."
Yeah.
Josh, are you still with us?
All my clients love it when I break their kneecaps. They love it when I give them the choice whether or not to pay
Manchester United sitting there like... Charbs. Manchester United sitting there like... Damn it, we got Ronaldo again! Trying to sell him off,
10
damn
Ronaldos, how did this happen?
Ah, yes.
It's a reference for everyone who's paying attention to real world.
I literally can't even believe that is a real statement they put out there in the public. Those words were spoken and written down.
Hang on. This is also the same company that just had to, in their own earnings call, just remind everyone, yes, we're committed to single-player games. After they dunked on themselves and their own studios making single-player games. Yeah, that one.
I need to rectify something, because when we talked about that tweet, I said, wow, what a stupid tweet. You're making Skate, like the new Skate, which is a single-player game.
Oh, yes.
They also announced that, this was a couple weeks ago, the new Skate is not a single-player experience. It's like a... Yeah. They've taken a single-player series, and it's now online.
Why? I don't think of skateboarding and think, MMO.
Because single-player games matter. Wait, no.
Oh my god. Our players love it when we shoot ourselves in the knees. They just love it.
Yes, I'm sure if FIFA and card packs were such a good, loving thing, they wouldn't be being banned in companies that are actually, hey, really big football fans.
Hey, why are you guys constantly getting in trouble with gambling laws?
My favourite thing, do you remember when they called them an innocent, fun surprise
dude, I love
mechanic?
surprise mechanics.
Yes.
that came up with
have you actually seen the footage from the hearing?
Not
they
from
were
the
like,
hearing, no.
They were like, so, like, they were actually asked, they go, so do you consider this a form of gambling? And the look on, like, EA's, I'm assuming attorney or whatever the word is, she's like, no. And, like, she's, like, sweating bullets trying to figure out how to word this. And she's like, they're definitely not gambling. These are surprise game mechanics. And then the response was, if it's a surprise and there's no predetermined outcome, but you're paying money for something.
Money's involved. That sounds
Doesn't
like gambling to me.
They go, would you not consider it a gamble? And they're like, no, not at all. It's a surprise mechanic. No. And they're just like trying not to shit it.
Is it not a gamble if your players can spend $1,000 and not get what they want?
That's the surprise.
No, it's the surprise game mechanic. Yeah. Just EA are the kings of like, just be quiet. Just sometimes good publicity is not all publicity is not good publicity. They're kings of that at the moment. Can't believe
Jack,
it.
Jack,
This
I
guy's-
can't
Remember-
get in trouble.
Stop talking. Sometimes you need to stop
I
talking.
can't get in trouble for the slot machines I have in my basement. They're not gambling. They're surprise machines.
I legitimately am at a loss for words at how EA just constantly dig deeper.
It's like they're all self burns as well. It's not like anyone's like digging real hard. It just feels
You know
like
what?
they just like the tweet was them doing it themselves and trying to get in on something, and they totally misread the room. This was them going, yeah, we didn't have to like talk about that. Like, you know,
I'm gonna make a very bold prediction. And I really think I'm on the ball with this one.
yeah.
Let's be honest here. Loot boxes will eventually be considered gambling,
I feel like it's
right?
inevitable.
It's already. Well,
I feel like it's inevitable.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a wider.
I am gonna call this. The moment it becomes illegal, EA will sell.
You reckon?
Alright, I'm gonna
EA
hold you
will
that.
absolutely look to sell. Whether it be to Sony or Microsoft, they will sell to someone.
My only problem with your theory is that I feel like they could be bought out before that happens, but we'll see.
Actually, better yet, they'll go to Tencent probably,
They own
or
everyone.
NetEase, or someone else like that.
They own everyone that Sony and Microsoft doesn't own, so that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, let's talk about other people that own everything. Disney and Marvel.
Yay.
We're getting a specific showcase for their games. September 10th. It will bring games from Pixar, Marvel Games, Lucasfilm Games, and 20th Century Games.
Can they just make another Epic Mickey? That's all.
And
I want another Epic Mickey.
And a sneak peek at the upcoming Marvel Ensemble game from Skydance New Media, which is sort of, I think, the crown jewel there that people are excited about. Which could be anything. What do you think? Do we think it's cool that they're actually... I feel like Marvel's like the perfect thing for this finally to be happening. Just such a big franchise that everyone loves, or at least... I feel like if you're a gamer, lots of gamers, also into sort of comics and that, I just feel like this is a
I just think
perfect
it's
match.
culturally too relevant for them not to capitalize on it.
Also, they need to recover from Marvel's Avengers.
Oh yeah, that was pretty bad.
Just quietly. That game's on life support, unfortunately. Now, I know you guys aren't massive Marvel fans, but what do you want to see the ensemble game be about? Some of the things people suggested are Fantastic Four, X-Men, Thunderbolts. I feel like you wouldn't go Avengers.
They
because
just did
it's already
that.
sort of there, so they probably killed that for themselves.
God of a Marvel one. I could see the Illuminati.
Feel like I lean towards Fantastic Four because I feel like that franchise is... They've almost been hinting at a reboot of that, and what perfect way to do that than like have a game about it as well, and try and launch them alongside
Of the Fantastic
each other.
Four?
Well, of that franchise. Yeah, have you ever heard such a weird thing? Weird concept? Never been done.
I mean, like, there's a lot of cool Marvel stuff. I would love to see them, especially in like a game, lean into the more campy stuff of Marvel, like the multiverse and the big space stuff, which they've been doing more and more of in the films, but like, go ham. Like, make it real comic-y.
Yeah. They haven't mentioned it. I don't know if you guys saw, but I couldn't see Insomniac being listed as going to this, but you would think with Spider-Man 2 on the way that they would. Unless that's literally just meant to be a surprise, but everyone would think that
We
they're
knew
there.
you were coming, but still, yay.
It would be weird to not have that, because I feel like that's probably the biggest game
That we can think of.
upcoming
the Spider-Man games have been doing well.
Yeah, like obviously the ones we know about, like this could. That's just my theory, but also it's probably I wonder if Lucasfilm Games and stuff. I wonder more Star Wars stuff, which is always Star Wars is interesting. People have thoughts on Star Wars games, and they're always they always go down
mostly negative.
Look, Jedi Fallen Order.
I like Jedi Fallen Order. That's like a step in the right direction. Listen, you make Star Wars Dark Souls, and you make it now. Yeah.
Hey, it worked. Not gonna knock them. I think it's cool. I'm excited, but I don't know where it's gonna head.
Well, we'll see when when it all comes out. Hopefully there'll be a new cool Star Wars game.
Probably see by next podcast.
Well, I hope there's some cool Star Wars stuff out there, because Star Wars has like a lot of potential for games. Like Star Wars games have been relatively good. Yes, recently.
Now you know what's not there that was it Charbs or Ant prior to the podcast realised that Hogwarts is not part of
That
Marvel.
was me.
That won't be
what?
Sorry. No, I think it was Ant. No, prior to the podcast, Ant had a minor. Oh yeah, Hogwarts isn't part of Marvel. We're like, no.
Wait, he thought it was part of Marvel? I thought it was part of Disney. Then I was like, wait, that's Warner Brothers.
That's what he realised. Now, Charbs. Because it is always going to be news about it. There's GTA 6 rumours. More of them.
Yes, there is. So according to what we have for the future Game of the Year for whatever year it releases in, because
future
it's better
Game
than
of
all
the Year, you heard it here first.
It's better than all the JRPGs Josh plays.
Or
No, I'm kidding.
Charbs won't beat Hades too.
Oof, Hades too. You know what? I still haven't gotten around to playing Hades. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a disgrace to this podcast.
All right, so obviously, this is GTA. We know Rockstar are gonna try their best to not fuck this up. So
I feel like the other one was okay though. You know, that 5 that did alright
commercially. It was
it did okay commercially. Yeah, it sells a copy or two here and there.
Did a job.
So the big thing that people are going a bit nuts about is that for the first time, we might actually see a female lead in the story. Cool. Obviously, ever since GTA 3, we obviously haven't seen a female lead in the story. Female protagonist, I should say. But the rumours are you'll play as one female and one male. As the two main characters, you'll be able to swap between them. And the other big thing is the rumours suggest that it'll be in Vice City. So, obviously, if you don't know, Vice City is based on Miami in real life. And
which is just perfect for GTA.
But the thing is, right, when they made GTA Vice City in 2002, there was actually a lot of stuff that they wanted to include. The map was meant to be a lot bigger. I remember reading somewhere that they wanted to put the Everglades and stuff like that. And they just did not have the time and resources.
Didn't fit in, yeah. And you think with GTA 6 they've probably been working on for quite a while. Probably.
I expect this game to be huge. When it comes to GTA fans, you're in one of two camps. And you're either in the camp of, 5 was the best game in the series, or 5 was a disappointment. I'm in the latter.
I feel like, though, that a lot of that is people not focusing on story and just the online part there. No one can...
No.
I feel like no one can deny the success of online.
No, it's not about success or anything, but there are genuinely people who think that 5's story is better than the ones that have been told by previous GTA games. I completely disagree. I think it's one of the weaker ones. But I really, really want to see more of this.
One of the rumors that made me interested for this was the idea that they're twins. So you have the female protagonist, then a male protagonist. and they're on opposite sides of the law.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That sounds really cool, but like,
if only
my
there
premise
was,
with that, I hope you can play like both sides and not just you're the bad guy.
yeah,
Or
there's literally
the
been
illegal one.
okay, just in that 5 seconds off the top of my head, I can think of 2 quote unquote GTA clones that have already done that idea though.
Yeah,
Where you play on both sides of the law.
but in fairness, isn't. Look, I'm not gonna try and talk down other franchises or whatever, but I feel like if anyone can do it pretty well, GTA can probably make it feel pretty unique. You know, Rockstar got a pretty good history with their games.
Oh yeah, I'm really keen to see what it's like after, you know, especially because I loved Red Dead Redemption 2. That was the last actual game that was developed by Rockstar that was released. I'm really keen.
That game feels old now, so that's yeah.
Yeah, well, it'll be 4 years old this year.
And Online's dead. Sorry.
Yeah, Red Dead Online fans are not happy. Rockstar's pretty much abandoned it.
It was that.
It's crazy because with GTA Online, they're like, yeah, new missions, a new storyline. Oh, you missed Franklin. Here's a new DLC with him. Then you turn to GTA Online and they're like, log in today and do 50 missions to get this sheepskin coat.
That's every MMO.
And
oh boy, only 50 missions.
That's yeah.
Red Dead Online is like the guy walking in with the pizzas to the fire. Like he's GTA and he's
like,
walking into Red Dead Redemption Online.
Did you guys hear about the whole they would spawn in cheat chests?
What's going on here?
To trick other players? Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah. It's actually pretty similar to. Do you remember the Fallout 76 thing where people would make Smurf accounts, then trade to their good account, and it would delete the Smurf account?
Jesus,
that was amazing.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm gonna let you close this
we'll
out.
close out with this.
I'm sad, I'm sad, Amp.
He hasn't played it. It's all good.
Tell me what happened to Digimon Survive.
For those who don't know, Digimon Survive came out, and it's very good. It's a very good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. However, people do not know how to read, apparently, because it got review bombed to hell. I don't... They kept going on, like...
Explain what it is. There's a lot of people probably wouldn't understand.
So, Digimon Survive is a visual novel, which is basically, it's almost entirely story-based. It has a strategy element to it, like a strategy game in there, but like about 70% of the gameplay is decision making and like interacting with characters, which is great for like if you need to tell like a more deep story. But people, they weren't hiding it either. Like, I think every trailer since the beginning called it a visual novel, so it's not like they were pretending it was more gameplay than it was, but people got really pissed off.
So what you're telling me is they've made Life is Strange, but Digimon Edition.
I was gonna say they just made a Telltale
basically,
game.
like if you're thinking about it, it's like a Telltale game, but instead of like, oh, here's a shooting minigame, here is like, here, play chess with like little monsters, which sounds fun to me, honestly. It's like, yes, these kids are in a terrifying situation where they could be literally eaten alive, but you get this cute Pikachu, so it's nice.
Oh, is it a chess game you're after?
No, go
Josh?
on.
No, Charbs, stop.
Nah, let him.
Oh no.
Be free.
Have I got a game for you? No, I'm kidding. Fuck him.
No.
I'm not going to promote it.
Good. Yeah, so the Digimon got like...
That's what we should end.
Digimon got like super review bombed. I think it got to down like to a 2 on Metacritic.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't high.
It was not high, which is really unfair because the game is actually really good, and the complaints were mostly vapid things of like, this isn't what I expected it to be.
So this is GameSpot gave it a 6. On Steam it's 9 out of 10. 91% people liked this.
Yeah, can you... there's some discrepancy here.
Google. There's a little bit of discrepancy going on.
The game is really good, but you got to come into it with the idea that it's a visual novel.
It's on Steam. It's got a rating 9 out of 10, 1,600 reviews almost.
Yeah, it seems alright.
Okay.
That's like a fair. But I don't know. It's kind of like playing Red Dead Redemption and giving it a 1 out of 10 because this isn't an anime waifu game. This just has cowboys and shit.
Game. So I'm just looked up some reviews. Game is too easy. It's a story game, isn't it?
That is the point.
Pros, nice sprites. Sean.
Oh no! Oh no!
I don't know. There's a lot of good reviews, but people just decisions don't matter. Combat is super easy. Collecting Digimons is boring. I don't know. People just hate it.
Look, it's not for everyone. It's definitely like if this is for you, if this is the kind of thing that you enjoy, then you're definitely going to enjoy it. And if you're not a person with like...
Do you think people didn't do enough research?
Oh, 100%. I reckon people looked at like probably screenshots of the strategy gameplay and expected it to be like that 100% of the time. I think they were expecting like Final Fantasy Tactics or something, but it's Digimon, which is just not what the game is.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna wildly suggest, because I know this happens in Pokemon games, or is going to continue if they can't put them all in, is Digimon has, I think, almost double the amount of creatures to Pokemon.
That's an understatement.
Problem. Because you can't fit them all in. I'm just going to wildly imagine that there are at least a few that aren't in that people like, no.
Jack, there's only 120 Digimon in this game. Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me. There are some bangers that are not in there. Like, some very, like, popular stuff that's not in there.
So, yeah, that's probably literally...
Yeah, I respect...
Yeah, I thought it was that much. 1,400 Digimon.
So, they did say very early on that the Digimon number was going to be really low because they wanted the sprites to be more interesting and unique. They wanted them to have, like, their own animations and for every Digimon to feel different.
I can respect
And I respect that because they did that. Like, every Digimon has its own, like, animations for its own special attack that only it learns. And, like... They all have a bit of personality to them, and I really appreciate that. Because the other games do have, like, oh, here's a game with, like, 500 Digimon in it, and, like, the difference between them is, like, the numbers and nothing else.
Hey, Josh, there's something I missed. So, with Pokemon, you bought, correct me if I'm wrong, but you bought, Sword, right?
I had Shield.
You had Shield. Do you mind if I send you a Pokemon?
What Pokemon is it? Why do you want to give me a Beedrill?
Because I want nothing in return. And you could call it a freebie.
And this has been the Safe Pile Podcast.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna squeeze at least one shitty pun into every episode from now on.
You do that naturally, don't you? You don't need to try and do that.
I said something. I can't remember what it was the other day, and I said to a friend, I was in a relationship, and when I gave my ex $100, and when we broke up, she gave me the $100 back. I lost interest in that relationship.
Oh, that's so shit.
I'll actually give you that one.
We should wrap up.
Okay, so to start off, I think it's time we end it there.
Please.
Because I think if I say one more pun, Jack's just gonna boot me from this.
I'm just gonna walk away, and you're not gonna know.
And this has been the Safe File Podcast.
Yes. Thank you everyone for joining us. This has been the Safe File Podcast.
Signing off.
off.
See you.
Signing off.